Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back at Zircuit Zolder for the alternate track layout. This time we are in the Toyota GR86 for the series, which is the production cars. So a lot of fun. It's a nice fast circuit. This should be great for another week of racing. If you're new to my channel, what we do is we do a hot lap and then I do a breakdown lap and then back in the cockpit one last time with the driving line on. Right, enough of that. Let's start the lap. Okay, now for the hot lap. Over on the right hand side, looking for the end of these flaggy things on the right hand side. Braking, trailing off, down to fourth, down to third, cut the corner. Being on the gas, exit wide, back over to the right hand side. When we're nearly level with this cone, we're going to again brake, take it down to third gear. Put the power back on. Over to the right hand side. Can actually brake a little bit less than I did here. I lost about a tenth by over braking here against my best. Over to the right hand side. Now we're looking for these warning red and white flashes on the right hand side. Let us know that we've got this chicane coming up. Down to third, down to second. You can be relatively aggressive on these because you've got nice bouncy car-like suspension. We're not in a Formula car. Second chicane. Again, down to second, down to first. Getting back on the gas. Feel the power gap coming through. Now we've got a semi-hairpin coming up after this little sort of kinky straight. It's just after the 100-meter marker. All the way down to first. Back on the gas. Straighten her up. And now we do this next chicane, turn 10. Not even going to pronounce it, but this is flat out. So 100-meter marker is our turn in. And we are just flat. I'm using the baseline setup, but I have taken traction control off. Right, now for the breakdown lap. Okay, we'll run through this relatively fast. So all these signs that are sort of hung up on the right hand side, it's when they end in between that and the state-of-the-art racing banner up ahead. It's going to be our braking marker. And we're going to brake up to about 80%, immediately start turning in and trailing off, down to fourth, down to third. We want our left-hand tyres on this mud patch here. Back over to the left-hand side. And it's just before we get to the cone, as you can see, the blue cone here on the right. And we're going to be braking, again, up to about 60%, immediately trailing it off, down to third gear. I'm already feeling for where the grip is. And then as I exit, 100% throttle. Just holding it round to the right hand side here, using the curb. So once we get to these entrance roads on the left hand side, as you can see, I'm going to do a little dab of brake. So I did up to about 70% here. You can get away with 50, maybe even less. I did over brake for this corner here. Drop it down to third, getting back on the gas nice and early. So you want to be going around here as fast as you possibly can. It's quite a long straight coming up all the way to turn 5, the chicane. So the 100-meter marker does nothing on this, but what we're wanting to do is brake once we get to the red and white painted walls. So as we get to those, I get on the brake really quite hard in a straight line, trail it off, drop it down to second, and attack the curbing quite aggressively, because your car will actually be able to do that. If we're in an F4, that would be the end of our race, but we're not. Over to the left-hand side. A slightly easier chicane here, and the braking zone is about 2 car lengths before the curbing, the red and white curbing on the left-hand side here. We're on a run over that, drop it down to second, cut this first corner, get on a bit of gas, and then, again, we're just on 100%, nice and easy. Cutting the curbing on the right hand side here, and then the same on the left. So if you don't want to bounce about in your ABS all race, then the 100-meter marker is where I would be aiming for. But in quali, where we don't really care about our tyres as much. I leave it about 2 car lengths, and then I do get onto 100% brake for quite a while. Turn in, down to first gear, just feeling for when you can get that full acceleration. For me, it's just here. Cutting the curbs to make it as short as possible, and we're just going to flat out this next chicane here. So 100 meter marker is going to be our turn in, and make sure that you are turning at the right bit, because we're wanting to go down this road here. You can cut it as long as your right hand tyres are still on the track, you're fine. And the same here, we want to just cut it a little bit, but do make sure you get it right, otherwise you're going to hit that wall at 200 kilometers an hour. And there we have it. Nice, simple, straightforward. I look forward to racing you guys in the week. Well, most of you. Cheers. Oh, driving line coming up. Okay, final time with the driving line on. Thanks for the support, guys. I've been Sambo iRacing, and I'll see you in the week.